मन्ना श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा कृपालु गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। I will do a little kirtan and let's do Rup Dhyan as we chant the sweet names of Shri Krishna. Gopala, Gopala, Radha Vallabh, Gopala, Jai Jai, Gopala, Gopala, Radha Vallabh, Gopala, 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 Radha Vallabh, Gopala, Jai Jai Gopala, Gopala, Radha Vallabh, Gopala, Jai Jai Gopala, Gopala, Radha Vallabh, Gopala, Jai Jai Gopala, Gopala, Radha Vallabh, Gopala. राधा वल्लभ गोपाल की जय। यशोमती नंदन की जय। बोलिए नंदलाल की जय। Janmashtami is coming up, and so Bhagwan Shri Krishna's divine birthday is going to be celebrated by us very soon. And so let's talk about the fact that Shri Krishna descends to earth in the form of Bhagwan. As it is stated in the Bhagavatam, Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. When we say God, we may not realize it, but there are three aspects that we can think of three aspects of God, that we can think of God in three different ways. And I think almost all of you know these three aspects are Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate, says Bhagwan Vedavyas. God is Brahma, God is Paramatma, God is Bhagwan. So I think all religions except for Hinduism, Sanatan Vedic Dharma, says that they say that God does not have a form. There is no name of God, there is no form of God. And whereas Sanatan Vedic Dharma Hinduism says, yes, that's true, God does not have a name, God does not have a form either, but it is also true that God has a name and God has a form. In fact, our scriptures say, Ananta Nama Rupaya Vishnave. God has unlimited names and uncountable forms. So Brahma, when we think about God who has neither name nor form, we are referring to his Brahma aspect. Because Sanatan Vedic Dharma is all inclusive. Yes, if you don't want God to have a form, think of God to be Brahma. And if you want God to have a form, then think of him as Bhagwan. So Brahma is nameless and formless aspect of God. And secondly, there's Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, and that is God when he does have a name and a form, and the name is Mahavishnu. Form is the four-armed form, bearing the in his forearms, rather in his forehands, the conch, the mace, the weapon, the mace, and that Sudarshan Chakra, the divine discus, and the lotus flower. That form of Mahavishnu, that is Paramatma. And then there is a Bhagwan aspect. Bhagwan aspect of God is the most beneficial for us. It is the most interesting for us because God now has a name and a form, but also there are pastimes. There are devotees that he brings along with from his divine abode, and they all come down to earth and they perform pastimes. The Bhagwan aspect of God is the one that we want to concentrate on. While there are many people in the world who say, oh, I like to think of God as being nameless and formless, I'm meditating on nothingness, yet we know very well that it is impossible for us to meditate on nothingness. We have a form, we have a body, we are formless. We are the formless soul, but we have a body, which we do have a form. So we do very well when we think of God with a name and a form. We don't do well at all when we try to think of God who is formless. Many people do try, and they may be too embarrassed to admit it, but they do not succeed. They do not succeed. They fall asleep, they become tired, they become bored, because we are not interested in thinking about nothingness. And then the Paramatma aspect, that does have a name and there is a form of God, yet that is a very imitating aspect of God, because God is that is the almighty aspect of God. God is being God, you can say, that he is very full of splendor and full of majesty, full of greatness. And we feel very small in front of him, and we feel we're not even, I am not worthy of him. He's too great and I'm too small. I'm too insignificant. So to remove that distance and to remove that hesitation, God says, I will come to you in the form of Bhagwan. And oh my, he comes down to our level. He comes down to earth and he comes down to our level, and he interacts with humans. He takes birth as, well, not as we do, but he does take birth. And he does have a mother, he does have a father, he has friends, he even gets married. And so there is so much that we can relate to in his Bhagwan aspect. We may take this aspect for granted. Oh, well, I know about Bhagwan Shri Krishna, but just think about how wonderful he is, how merciful he is to come down to the world and to be with us imperfect people. And he is the perfect one, yet he also becomes imperfect. He acts as if he is imperfect. And that acting is not really acting in the sense that an actor acts in a movie or in a TV show. It's not like that. He actually makes himself forget who he is. So when he descends to earth in the form of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he knows only this much, that he is a little boy, and that he is he doesn't know anything much, and that he's dependent on his mother, Yashoda. He's dependent on his mommy to give him food and to give him shelter. He's depending on his mother and father for everything. And Yashoda Maya also thinks, well, he's my son, and I will teach him to the best of my ability. And when he is being naughty, I will scold him. I will teach him. to do the right thing. I will feed him what is best for him. I will not give him what's not good for him. And when he's being uh, when he's being fussy, then I will deal with him so that he doesn't become spoiled. So the mother also thinks this way. The devotee, in the form of a mother, she is thinking that she's the mother because he has made her forget, and he's made himself forget who he is. It's the ultimate grace of God. So Bhagwan Sri Krishna comes along. He takes birth some 5,000 years ago. He took birth. And of course, we know that his birth, we have heard that his birth was not ordinary. Whenever God takes birth on earth, he pumps his mother's stomach, and so that everyone feels that she is expecting a child. And the stomach expands in the same way as that of an expectant mother. And the mother feels the same way as an expectant mother feels. She has all the cravings, and she goes through all the sentiments and all the physiological changes as an expectant mother does. But when he's about to take birth, he makes the mother unconscious, and then he appears, and then the mother's stomach shrinks, and now he has taken birth. So then we say, Bhai Prakata Kripala, that the merciful one has appeared. And we say, oh, now we're celebrating Janmashtami, Lord Krishna's birthday. It's a divine birth. Janma karma chana, janma karma chame divyam, says Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, oh Arjun, make no mistake about it, my birth and my actions are both divine. So when we celebrate Janmashtami, we should celebrate the fact that God is the most merciful. His mercy is he has infinite mercy. His mercy it has no limits. That he would come down to this dirty world, impure world. Shri Maharaj used to say, you know, a king has a park planned for himself, that these trees should be here, these flowers should be blooming, and it should be made in this way. He has a very beautiful park designed for himself because he is so busy taking care of his kingdom, and there's so many problems. At any given time, there's somebody or the other who's revolting against him, and he needs some relief. So he retires to his beautiful garden, and he appreciates all the natural beauty there. But God created this world, and but you know, it's like a park that's not really a park. There's weeds all over, and there's no healthy grass, and there are no beautiful butterflies fluttering away. No, there are mosquitoes and other such creatures who are biting you. Now, who would have such a park built for himself? In other words, God, who is unlimited happiness, comes to this world, which is so imperfect. And he is happily doing that. He happily does that. He comes to us and to be with us. And we celebrate Janmashtami. We celebrate not just his birth, but we celebrate his mercy, his unlimited compassion for us. That he loves us so much that he would willingly come to our level. So when Sri Krishna appears in this world, we have an opportunity to love God in every possible way. There are 5 ways in which we may love God, and they are in an ascending order of excellence: Shant Bhav, Dasya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav. Shant Bhav, first of all, that's like the love that subjects have for the king. So if you are in the modern times, you can say that love that you would have for the prime minister or the president of a country. Now, what kind of love is there? There's a lot of distance. There's hardly any love. So that's a very distant relationship. This is why devotees boycott this relationship, Shant Bhav. It's a very distant relationship with God. So now we have four of them left, four relationships. Sakhya Bhav, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So Dasya Bhav, we can love Sri Krishna as our most loving master, our Lord and master. And he's my mother and my father. These relationships are also included in Dasya Bhav. That he is my master, my Lord, my mother, my father, and that is Dasya Bhav. But in the world, a das or a servant may be very intimidated by the master. The employer is very strict, so the employee feels very, very nervous. Let's say there's a cook, and the cook is hired to prepare meals, but the employee is very strict. And if there's a little bit extra salt or a little bit less salt, or it's the food is too spicy or not spicy enough, or there's too much sugar in the dessert, or the dessert is not sweet enough, the cook is in big trouble. And the employee feels, he actually trembles when presenting the meal in front of his employee, the employer rather. But God is such a master that he feels grateful to the servant. And he feels, he says, I'm so grateful for the love with which you are serving me. Bhagwan Sri Ram says to Hanumanji, Sunu sut tohi urin main nahi. I can never be free of your debt. If I give up one life, then I will have repaid your one debt. But what about the countless other debts? O Hanuman, the fact is that I shall always be indebted to you. Ekaikasya pakorasya प्राणान् दास्यामि ते कपे शेषस्य होपकाराणां भवाम ऋणिनो vayam. Valmiki Ramayana. What I just explained, that Bhagwan Ram is saying to Hanuman, I am forever indebted to you. I can never be free of your debts. That is the kind of master he is. Who would not surrender to such a loving master? When Vibhishan goes to Bhagwan Sri Ram, Bhagwan Ram is alerted by Sugriv. Sugriv says, Maharaj, do not trust him. He is Ravan's brother. And I'm sure that he's here to get our secrets. Bhagwan Ram said, so gently, he said, I appreciate your advice, but think of who I am. Think of my nature. If Vibhishan is here to surrender to me, I shall gladly accept him. And I will make him Lankesh. I will give him the kingdom of Lanka. And what about Lankesh? What about Ravan? What will you give him then? Oh, I will give him the seat of, I will make him the king of Ayodhya. I will make him Avdesh. He is such a loving master. He feels grateful to his devotees, and he feels embarrassed that he's not able to do more than he's doing. So Dasya Bhav is the most wonderful, and it will run through all the other relationships. I am your servant and you are my master. You're my wonderful master. This feeling, it is present in all the other relationships. Because if we don't have a servant-master relationship, then what do we really have? If we don't even serve him, then who are we? The fact is that Jivera Shwarupa Hai Krishnera Nityadas. The individual soul is an eternal servant of Shri Krishna, says Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And the servant also is such a wonderful servant. A good servant is so wonderful that he says, I would like to serve you, O my Lord, O my Master, O Shri Krishna. I would like to serve you even after I am dead. And how will you do that? And he says, my body, my physical body, is comprised of 5 elements. Kshiti jal pavak, tej samira, pancharachitya, adham sharira. The body is comprised of ether or space, air, fire, water, and earth. So after the death of my body, after my soul leaves the body, I will desire that the space, the ether part of my element of my body, be mixed with the space that surrounds you. And I want the air element of my body to mix with the breeze that serves you in the summertime. I desire that the fire element of my body be mixed into your mirror in which you gaze at your beautiful face. I desire that the water element of my body be mixed with the water with which you bathe. And I want the earth element of my body to mix with the earth upon which you place your soft lotus, your infinitely soft lotus feet. That is a servant, a true servant. And in Bhakti Shatak, Shri Maharaj Ji has said, Jagat Guru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj has said, Jo Swami so chahai kachu, so nahi das kahai, so Swami na kahai jo, das hi aas lagai. That the Swami, the Lord, the master does not want anything from the servant. And the servant doesn't want anything from the master. That's a true master and a true servant. This is Dasya Bhav. But there's a lot of distance in this relationship. Let's say that the master is the prime minister of a country, and his personal assistant, that's that's his servant, let's say. So now the servant has many rights. A servant can go into the master's office. He can go into the prime minister's office, whereas no one else can do that. So many people cannot do that. Very few can do that, but the servant can do that. However, when let's say the prime minister is visited by a personal friend, then the let's say the personal assistant, he's in the office. So now the prime minister will say, "Would you mind stepping out? Would you please leave us to talk? I want to talk to my friend." So the servant has to leave. That means Sakhya Bhav is greater than Dasya Bhav. The friend has more privileges than a servant. And we can't dispute that because that is true. So now the friend has more privileges and there are less restrictions. With a friend, you can talk about anything and everything. You can share your joys in life, your problems in life, your worries, the worries that you have in your mind. You can disclose them to your friend without fearing that your friend will mock you or he will share your secrets with somebody else. And that relationship is a very special one. And that relationship is a very special one with Sri Krishna. So he is our eternal friend. That's what the Vedas say. He's our Sakha. Sakha means friend. So he's our eternal friend. And as our eternal friend, he, as our friend, true friend, truest friend, he is always with us and he's always inside our heart, and he's always guiding us. When a friend sees that his friend is doing something wrong, then he will tell his friend, don't do this, don't go this route, don't do this. This is wrong. You're going to do something wrong, and I have to say something. So God, being the truest friend, he remains within us, and he gives us a little pinch from within. Don't do this. Don't tell this lie. Don't deceive this person. Don't do that. Don't hurt his feelings. Don't do that. So always, God, like a truest friend, remains with us and tells us, gives us a hint as to what we should not be doing. And that is what a friend is supposed to do. Sri Krishna, when he comes to earth, he has many friends, and these are the cowherd boys. Bhagwan Sri Ram also has friends, and Sri Krishna has friends, the cowherd boys. And they take full liberties with him. They take many liberties, I should say. Not all liberties, but they take many liberties with him. Friends of Lord Krishna, they play games with him, and they really think that they are better than him in these games because he makes them win very often. He makes them win, and he loses because there is an understanding that the loser will have to give all the other boys a ride on his shoulders. And Shri Krishna thinks, I want to serve my friends, my devotees. I want the dust of their lotus feet on my body. I want them to, when I give them a ride, I'll become the horse and they'll become the horse riders. And I'll deliberately run very slowly. So then my friends will kick me with their heels. They'll kick me in the stomach and they will tell me, go faster, horsey, go faster, faster, faster. And so he deliberately loses the games. So much love he has for his friends. And the friends actually think that they are better than him, that they are more clever than him, that they're more capable than him. He makes them forget who he is. And these cowherd boys, as I said, they have so many privileges. They can make him cry. They love him so much. They give him what they love the most. And this is what scriptures say: give God and Guru what you love the most. So when Kanhaiya, little Krishna, is out with his friends grazing the calves, because they're very small, they cannot take care of cows. When they take care of the calves, they, at some point in the afternoon, at noontime, they open their parcels of food that their mothers have prepared. And when the Sakha, when a friend of Lord Krishna, when a Gwalbal, a cowherd boy, when he opens his packet of food and he tastes something which is very delicious, he right away gives it to Krishna. Kanhaiya, kha le. Bahut acha banaya hai meri maa ne. He says, Kanhaiya, eat this. This is delicious. My mother has cooked something so delicious. You eat it. And that is so wonderful. That is what a devotee does. That is what a devotee should do. Give whatever is that he loves the most, whatever he finds the tastiest, whatever he values the most, he must give over. He must give as a gift. So this is what the friends of Lord Krishna say. That, oh, there's a shiny red apple I have in my hand, and I just took a bite of it. Oh my goodness, this apple is so sweet. It's actually a fragrant apple. It has a wonderful fragrance. Kanhaiya, why don't you have the rest of it? So the friends of Lord Krishna love him so much. They share food with him. They share the food that they have tasted themselves, and they have no problem doing that because to them he is Kanhaiya. He is Hindi में बोलते अपना यार है, ये तो दोस्त है, जिगरी दोस्त है. He's my best friend. I have known him all my life, and and I love him so much. So now Lord Krishna also reciprocates that love, and when the friends, when they start eating, he wants their jutan. He wants the food that they have eaten. So he snatches the food from the mouth of the cowherd boys. And that just sounds really, really disgusting to us. But what Sri Krishna is doing is he's taking the Mahaprasad. He considers it to be Mahaprasad because his devotee has put that food in his mouth. Now Sri Krishna wants that food. We talk about, and we do, we talk about taking jutan. We take prasad. We used to take Maharajji's leftover food, and, we would fight for it. And we would compete with each other. I got this much. And yet, the Lord himself is wanting the food that's in the mouth of his devotee. That is Sakhya Bhav. Because the friends of Lord Krishna only know this much, that he's my friend, and my father is a cowherd, And his father is a chief of the clan. That's the only difference. My father, my mother and father, we live in a house, and myself, we live in a house. Kanhaiya also lives in a house with his parents, but the only difference is his house is bigger. So they have more possessions, and they have more cows. Nand Baba had 900,000 cows. The other Gwal Bal, they didn't have so many. But the friends of Lord Krishna think that they are just, they're equals. That's what friends feel for each other. You're an equal. And Lord Krishna, he inspires us to think of him as our friend, our eternal friend. Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya, says the Ved. So he's our friend, our eternal friend. But when let's say two friends are talking, remember the prime minister and his good friend, they're talking in the office, in the prime minister's office. All of a sudden, the prime minister's mother comes in and says, Beta, son, I need to talk to you about a family matter. And she just looks at his friend, and the prime minister understands, and he says to his friend, will you excuse us? I need to speak to my mother in private. So the friend leaves. And that means that the mother is more important than a friend. So when it comes to having a relationship with Sri Krishna, a Vatsalya Bhav is a must. We must go to that sentiment, that bhav, in which we think of Sri Krishna as our child, and you are his mother or his father, and he is your child. That is Vatsalya Bhav. Because now the parents of Lord Krishna, they have many more privileges. Restrictions are smaller now, they shrink, and the privileges, they expand. So now Yashoda Maya has a right to even slap little Kanhaiya. When he's being bad, she will show him the little thin stick in her hand, and she just has to show him that stick, and he starts behaving, because she has said enough. Through her gestures, she has said enough that I'm going to use this stick on you. She hardly ever uses it, but he becomes afraid. She has that authority on him, over him. That what does he know? What does he know? He's just a little child. I am his mother. I know what is good for him. I know what is good for him. And that's what every mother feels, no matter how qualified her child may be. And Maharaji used to say that when asked, Maharaji, were you ever afraid of anyone? Maharaji said, only one person, my Amma. So Maharaji was afraid of his mother, because the mother doesn't care that you're Jagat Guru. Mother doesn't care that you're God. Mother is the mother. Mother is always greater than the child. So the mother has the authority to 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 um, to slap the child, to punish the child. So there are many more privileges that Yashoda has. When Kanhaiya has been misbehaving, he knows that his mother, if she finds out, he'll be in big trouble. But what can he do? His mischievous nature gets the best of him, and he gets into trouble. Once Yashoda saw him giving out freshly churned butter to the monkeys, and that was a no-no. He wasn't supposed to do that. And when she caught him like that, she gave him chase, and he knew what he had done something wrong, so he ran, and Yashoda's running after him, and he keeps looking back to see how much mother has gained him, that she has very big feet, and he has very tiny feet, and he can't outrun her. And so he keeps looking back to see if she's gaining on him. And then there comes a point when he just stands still because she's right behind him. He knows he's going to be caught. And he just stands there, and his lower lip starts to quiver. And then the tears start coming in the eyes, and they start falling onto the cheeks. Then he starts wailing loudly. And that disarms Mother Yashoda. And she takes pity on him, and she hides her stick. She was going to use it, but she hides it. And then she takes him by the hand sternly and takes him back, and says, are you going to do that again? No, Maya, tells an outright lie because he will do it again and again. This Vatsalya Bhav is full of sweetness. And Sri Maharaji tells us, do Roop Dhyan, do Roop Dhyan. And all the pastimes we have heard about of Sri Krishna with Yashoda Maya, those pastimes are the ones that will help us tremendously in thinking about Sri Krishna, in doing devotion to him. And Vatsalya Bhav pastimes are just so sweet. Maharaji used to say, Maharaji would say, I've been trying so hard for so many years to get you all into Madhurya Bhav. The one that I'm going to talk about, and the one is the highest relationship with Sri Krishna, the lover-beloved relationship. But Sri Maharaji would say, but you people are just stuck in Vatsalya Bhav, that you find it so charming. And indeed, it's a very charming relationship. Excuse me. So Vatsalya Bhav is very sweet. There's so many more privileges that the mother has and that the friend does not have. But then there is one ultimate relationship, which is Madhurya Bhav. That's the lover-beloved relationship. And there's no relationship like this one because even there's not so much closeness with even the mother than that there is with the one's spouse, with one's beloved. And let's say there's a man and his wife. So the wife thinks of the husband in many different ways. She has many relationships with him. She thinks of him as her best friend and confidant, and she likes to serve him because when you love someone, you want to do things for them. So she will serve him. She becomes motherly at times. She'll coax him. You're losing too much weight, and or more likely you're putting on too much weight, one less roti for you. Or as the case may be, you're eating, these, I don't eat these chips, crisps in the UK, too many crisps, or you should eat healthy food. Here's some carrots for you. Here's cucumber. Here's a nice salad for you. So she has many different relationships with him. She's not only his wife, but also she becomes very motherly, and she's a best friend, and she serves him. So all the relationships are present in the lover-beloved relationship, in the Madhurya Bhav. And that's in the world also, and also with God in the divine realm. So this is the highest relationship, the greatest relationship, the closest relationship with Sri Krishna. And this is where the gopis are. The gopis are the best devotees, greatest devotees of Sri Krishna, and because they love him as everything. Sahaya, Gurava Shishya, Bhujishya, Bandhava, Striya, Satyam Vadami te Partha Gopya Kim me Bhavantina. In Adi Puran, Sri Krishna is saying to Arjun, "O Parth, you asked me." Arjun was asking, Maharaj, who are these gopis? How are you related to them? Who are they to you? Shri Krishna says, what are they to you? And Shri Krishna says, what are they not to me? They're my everything. They're my helpers. They're my gurus. They teach me so much. They're my disciples. They're my kith and kin. They're my everything. Oh, Parth, these gopis are everything to me because that is a complete relationship, the lover-beloved relationship. And you can love Shri Krishna and serve him the most when you're in this relationship. And this is why Sri Maharaji has emphasized this relationship. And he would say, go from time to time, go into the other relationships, but by default, be in this Madhurya Bhav relationship because it is the best, it is the closest, it is the most intimate relationship of all. And so Janmashtami is coming, and we must keep in mind that God, in all his mercy, he appeared on earth 5,000 years ago, and we are still hearing his stories. We are hearing the knowledge pertaining to him. We are falling in love with him, and we are able to love him as our everything, our one and only, and our mother, father, Lord, master, friend, child, beloved, and everything in between. And so Janmashtami is not just about about going to the mandir or celebrating at home, just doing some puja, just lighting some incense before the image of Sri Krishna and doing arti. It's all about thinking and keeping him in our heart and feeling the gratitude that he appeared on earth 5,000 years ago. And he appeared on earth for me. That is a feeling we should all have individually. He appeared on earth because he loves me so much. It's an expression of his love that he comes to earth. So I shall leave the rest for the next session, and we'll have a Q&A session now. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद् सदगुरु सरकार की जय.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
If anyone has questions, you can please raise your hand.
Radhe Radhe Didi ji.
Radhe Radhe.
Didi ji, you mentioned that there are 4 different types of bhav, like Madhurya bhav, Vatsalya bhav. And for the people who are just entering into this journey and all, how should they start? Should they start with the lowest form of the bhav? Like, how do they decide, okay, which form of bhav or devotion we should do towards God?
Okay, yes, good question. Right from the beginning, you have to go into Madhurya Bhav. So it's not that you have to go to Dasya Bhav first and Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Right away, you go into Madhurya Bhav. So just know right from the beginning that the most interesting relationship, the most intimate relationship with Sri Krishna is that relationship, and I shall go into that relationship. So you don't progress to that, you go into it right away. All the relationships are open to you in that way.
Thank you, Didi ji.
Most welcome.
Radhe Radhe Didi ji.
Radhe Radhe.
What if the Madhurya Bhav doesn't come naturally? You just have to keep bringing your mind towards it. Could you please go into a little so that it's easier for somebody like me, please? I'm asking a personal question.
Yes, I think it's a question that others have as well. That, if it does not come naturally, then you just have to think about what Sri Maharaji has said, that this is the best for you, because if you're going to work so hard at attaining God, Maharaji used to say, if you're going to work so hard at attaining God, for attaining God realization, you may as well get to the highest level. And without going to Madhurya Bhav, you cannot have Gopi Prem, and you cannot have there's no hope of participating in the Maharas. And you just think, I have the opportunity to serve Sri Krishna the most when I am in Madhurya Bhav. So think of it that way, that I'm making all this effort with the view to attain God realization, and I may as well go to the top and not be satisfied with second best.
Okay.
Even Maharaji used to say, even to the males, like, you are in the male form, but think that you are a female. You're a 16-year-old beautiful female, and you are trying to please your beloved, and you're, in other words, that you want to look beautiful for your beloved. So even a male is supposed to think about himself as a female. Then females definitely have a distinct advantage.
Right, Didi. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
Didi,
Vagish, are you in the UK now?
no, Didi, I'm not in UK, but I'm very fortunate enough that thanks all to Vikas. Currently, I'm in Qatar,
I
and
see.
he has, told me that I mean, we are having session this every Thursday,
Yes.
right?
Good to
So
see you after many years.
yes, Radhe Radhe. I don't have a question right now, but I'm feeling very great to be part of this meeting.
Well, very nice to have you here. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi.
So if nobody has a question, I want to share something.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So whenever I do Roop Dhyan, my focus, I mean, it's always that I see Bhagavan Krishna as the little one. So I'm walking and I feel like, oh, he's walking with me, and I hold his hand or he's holding my hand. I'm at my desk doing something, and I'm like, okay, he's sitting just on the other chair in front of me. That's how I see him all the time. Whenever I do Roop Dhyan, or even I'm working or eating, I mean, my mind does never go with any kind of other form or other uh, way of seeing him. So what do you think?
It's as Maharaji would say, it's not wrong, but it's not so right either. Right. In other words, how can it be wrong to think about Krishna as a little child, but go into other relationships as well? And as Maharaji would say, as he used to say, go into the Madhurya Bhav as well. Work, it'll be harder, but you have to go into that relationship also. That feeling, getting that feeling that he's my beloved. And that's very important. Everything comes with practice.
Yes.
Maharaji speaks about a gentleman, a sadhu really, he saw when he was in Vrindavan, and this sadhu had matted locks, and he was sitting with a cracked mirror and a broken comb, and he would comb his hair, and he would look at his face in the mirror, and then he would say, and then he would look around and then Maharaji approached him and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I am always ready, getting ready for my beloved, for my Priyatam. But if my beloved Shamsundar comes, because this Babaji, he was thinking himself to be a gopi, and his thoughts were, I need to look beautiful for him. And what if he comes and he sees with my hair in such disarray? So I'm always trying to comb my hair." So he was in Madhurya Bhav. He is thinking himself to be a gopi. And he said, you should also always be prepared for your beloved. So Maharaji used to tell us this story. That's in the Prem Ras Siddhant, I believe.
Radhe Radhe Devi. Purna
Radhe.
here.
Purna.
Yeah, I have one question. The different types of bhavs that we have, like Madhurya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, is it feasible? Like we can also sometimes have a combination of them. Like sometimes you feel like you can treat him as a child, as a small child, when you try to decorate the idol or those kind of things. And at the same time, when you want to share your sadness, it's more like a sakha, that you want to share your sadness, or you want to share something which is not happy for you. And at the same time, it is also it is also the madhurya bhav, when you feel that affection towards God. So that combination, is it okay to have it that kind of feeling, or it is only that we should be?
No, absolutely. That's fine. That is fine. Because the mind also wants variety. You need to have this variety. This is fine.
Okay.
Yes. But always understand that Madhurya Bhav is the topmost, and every other relationship is included in it.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Purna.
राधे बहन जी।
राधे राधे।
बहन जी, मैं कैन आई स्पीक इन हिंदी?
यस।
बहन जी, मैं एक डॉक्टर हूँ पाकिस्तान से। मैं अभी महाराज जी के परिवार में नहीं हूँ, तो मैं कुछ यूट्यूब पे लेक्चर सुनता रहता हूँ, और मेरे वो गुरु हैं, मैं पाकिस्तान से बिलोंग कर रहा हूँ। तो बहन
बहुत
जी मुझे,
आवाज आपकी आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है।
हाँ हाँ बहन जी, तो
क्लियर
मुझे
नहीं,
ये पूछना है कि आवाज आ रही है बहन जी?
बहुत क्लियर नहीं आ
हेलो।
रही है।
राधे राधे भैया,
स्पष्ट
थोड़ी
नहीं आ रही।
स्पष्ट, थोड़ी अनक्लियर है। शायद आपका हाथ आपके माइक्रोफोन पे है या कुछ।
जी जी बहन जी, अब आवाज आ रही है कुछ? हेलो।
नहीं, ज्यादा नहीं आ रही, ठीक तरह से नहीं आ रही।
अच्छा, मैं फिर क्या करूं? हेलो। जी जी, कुछ आ रही है बहन जी आवाज?
हाँ,
अ,
आप बोलने की कोशिश कीजिए, हम ट्राई करेंगे।
हाँ हाँ जी जी बहन जी, मुझे रूप ध्यान के बारे में कुछ पूछना है कि रूप ध्यान में हम उस मूर्ति को आंखों में बिठाएं, या जो कोई फोटो लेकर किसी को भगवान कृष्ण की मतलब फोटो को किसी आंखों में बिठाएं, दिल में बिठाएं, या अपना कोई बना के आंखों में बिठाएं, कैसे, मतलब रूप ध्यान का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? और ये थोड़ा मुझे एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा।
जी, तो रूप ध्यान करने के लिए आप कोई फोटो अपने पास रखें, अपने सामने रखें, या मूर्ति जो भी है आपके पास, जो आपको बहुत अच्छी लगे, और फिर उनको थोड़ा निहार करके, और फिर आंखें बंद कर लीजिए, फिर अपने अंदर बसा लीजिए ठाकुर जी को। यानी वो मूर्ति जो है आपकी हेल्पर है, उसका ध्यान नहीं करना है मूर्ति का, लेकिन मूर्ति से आपको हेल्प मिलेगी कि इस तरह से दिखते हैं वो आपको, कि वो आप मूर्ति आपको अच्छी लगती है या वो फोटो अच्छी लगती है। फिर आप अपने मन से उनका रूप बनाइए, और मूर्ति में तो वो एक ही पोजीशन में खड़े हैं, और फोटो में भी एक तरफ एक ही पोजीशन में खड़े हैं या बैठे हैं। पर अब आपके मन में आप सोच रहे हैं, रूप ध्यान कर रहे हैं, तो वो चल फिर रहे हैं, वो कुछ बोल रहे हैं, हंस रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं वो। तो इस तरह से रूप ध्यान करना है कि वो डायनामिक रूप ध्यान, यानी कि वो एक ही जगह पे स्टिल ऐसे खड़े नहीं है, और वो कुछ 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 कर रहे हैं, कुछ कुछ बोल रहे हैं, आपसे कुछ कह रहे हैं, कुछ लीला कर रहे हैं। तो इस तरह से आपको करना है, कि किसी फोटो या मूर्ति का सहारा लेके करना है, उसकी तरफ देखना नहीं, देखते नहीं जाना है। फिर आंखें बंद करके कीर्तन भजन का सहारा तो ले लीजिएगा। कीर्तन भजन करते हुए या सुनते हुए आप उनका ध्यान कीजिए,
अच्छा,
अपने मन से
दूसरा
उनका
बहन
रूप।
जी।
जी।
जी 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 जी। दूसरा बहन जी, हमारा हमारा महाराज जी का मंत्र यही है कि राधे राधे सांस अंदर ने राह और बाहर निकाले तो जे। हमारा मंत्र यही हम अभ्यास करें, या हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, ये करें, या राधे राधे करें, राधे राधे, या
अपने
हम यही
स्पेयर
कोशिश
टाइम
करें
में,
कि
जैसे आप
हमारा
कुछ
मंत्र?
अपने स्पेयर टाइम में आप जो श्वास श्वास से राधे बोले, और बाकी समय पे जो आप साधना करते हैं, तो बहुत सारे कीर्तन भजन है महाराज जी के, उनका सहारा लीजिए। अ, हरे राम जो महामंत्र है वो तो ठीक है, बढ़िया है। और उसमें भी हरे राम पहले आता है एक। हाँ, कुछ लोगों ने चेंज कर दिया है, पहले हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे, फिर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। वो एक है महामंत्र जो कहलाता है। बाकी और भी बहुत सारे कीर्तन भजन है, जिससे आपको बहुत सहायता मिलेगी रूप ध्यान करने में, जिनमें बहुत डिस्क्रिप्शन है कि भगवान ऐसी लीला कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कर रहे हैं वो, बाल लीला कर रहे हैं, या गोपियों के साथ लीला कर रहे हैं। तो वो आपके लिए बहुत सहायता, आपकी बहुत सहायता करेंगे।
और
ठीक
बहन
है।
जी, लास्ट में बहन जी प्रैक्टिस होती नहीं है, जमाने के संसार में बैठ के काम काजों में परिवारों में, ये हो कोई ऐसे तरीका बताएं जिसमें प्रैक्टिस होती नहीं है, बस जमाने के चक्रों में पड़ जाते हैं, प्रैक्टिस होती नहीं है। बस कोई ऐसा
हाँ,
तरीका
नहीं
बताएं जिसे देखने में प्रैक्टिस हो।
देखिए, होती नहीं है, वो करनी पड़ती है। तो जैसे जिसके अंदर जितनी लालसा होती है, उतने वो समय निकाल लेता है। तो इसलिए अपनी लालसा को बढ़ाना होगा, अपने आप समझना होगा कि ये जरूरी है, इसी के लिए तो जन्म मिला है। अगर यही नहीं किया तो इसके लिए समय नहीं मिला, तो फिर किसके लिए समय। इसके लिए हम समय निकाल रहे हैं, तो वो अपने आप करना होगा, सोच समझ के। ठीक है जी।
बहन जी बहुत शुक्रिया, राधे राधे बहन, राधे राधे।
राधे। If there are no more questions, then I will say Radhe Radhe to you, and hope to see you, I think, right before Janmashtami in 2 weeks. And anything else? So good to see everybody.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Vrinda, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi ji.
Radhe Radhe everyone. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
राधे राधे दीदी।
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की
जय
जय। जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री
राधे
राधे राधे दीदी।
राधे राधे दीदी, राधे राधे।
राधे।